Today is another Jewish tale, and every tradition or every country has its favorite kind of idiots. You know, the people who are a little bit backwards, who do things their own peculiar way, and who are being made fun of. And in traditional Jewish tales, these people are the people of Khelm. And the story here is called The Hill Pushed Away. There was trouble in Khelm. There was no water. People who wanted it had to go to a well several miles away. In summer, you could die of thirst. The people of Khelm decided that no one could go on living like that. A solution had to be found. There had to be a closer well. So they decided to push away the hill that stood between their village and the well. The entire village took sticks and spades and they went to the hill and they pushed. They pushed and they pushed and they pushed, but they couldn't tell whether they had managed to move the hill, whether this hill had budged at all or not. It was hard to tell. So they decided they would take their jackets off and pile them up in a wagon and would put this wagon right behind them. So when they were pushing, they would see if they were successful that this wagon would move. That would be their marker. So that's what they did. Took off all their jackets and piled them in the wagon and started pushing and pushing and pushing again. But while they pushed, they couldn't see what was happening behind them. And what was happening was this. A rider came by, and finding a wagon piled high with clothes, he just harnessed his horse to the wagon and drove away with it, clothes and all. The Khelmites, meanwhile, they kept on pushing and pushing and pushing. At last, one of them turned around and saw that the wagon loads of clothes was a long way off. They all stopped work and gazed at their marker, which was moving away from them further and further at a very steady pace. They concluded that the hill had decided to move on its own accord. Thus there was no point in pushing anymore because the hill was moving towards the well by itself. They must have been successful. They went to get their clothes, but no matter how much they walked, they couldn't overtake the wagon. To this day, the Khelmites have no jackets, and they still hope to overtake their marker.